Okay. Well, Deputy Moss-Beasley, one of the things that we're looking at in regard to this particular article is when it comes to the community, what can dog owners and pet owners do to ensure not only their dog safety and their safety, but also the community's safety?
Well, we have laws on the books right now that I believe that every pet owner should definitely follow those laws, especially the leash law, because all dogs are not friendly. So
Right.
if you're walking your dog in the community, make sure that they're leashed at all times.
Okay. Now, when, let's say, a dog owner has a need to call for law enforcement and law
Yes.
enforcement has come to the home, what steps maybe should they take to, inform the officer that approaches that there is a dog on the premises? I mean, should they put the dog up? Should they, let the dog smell them if they're friendly towards officer? What is the proper thing to do?
I believe the proper thing to do is always make sure that you put your dog up, either in the bedroom, on the patio, because most owners, you know your dog, and you might tell the deputy that's responding to your calls for assistance that your dog doesn't bite, but that deputy doesn't know that.
Right.
So we like to make sure that the owners know that if you do have a pet, just make sure you put them up before the deputy arrives.
Okay. Um, Now, when it comes to breed-specific legislation, like they still have on the books in Miami-Dade County, where certain breeds of animals can actually be euthanized within a 24-hour period. What are your thoughts or feelings on that in regard to having this discrimination towards certain breeds because of um, certain things in the media, such as dog bites on just certain breeds?
Well, I believe all animals have the right to live, and I don't believe that one particular species of animals, such as pit bulls or bull terriers or anything like that, should be singled out in reference to euthanization. I don't believe that should be the case.
Now, do you think that certain breeds are just inherently more aggressive or more dangerous than other breeds, or do you think that it's more on how they're raised?
I believe it's how they're raised, how the owners train them, and how the owners actually treat them. Because I've over my 21 years with the sheriff's office, I've come in contact with a lot of dogs that the sheriff's office uses as well, and it usually is up to that person who owns that dog in reference to how violent they become or how friendly they are.
Okay. Now, if elected sheriff, what are your plans towards the Paws and Stripes program? Do you feel it's a viable program, and would you continue it, or do you think it should go in another direction?
Well, as the people's sheriff, I love animals. I love dogs, and I think that's one of our best programs that has been instituted in the sheriff's office. And if anything, I would like to expand that program because I believe it helps with our inmates as well. It gives them something to care about,
Okay.
especially the animals.
Okay. Um, Now, there has been a bit of a buzz on the internet about certain jurisdictions in law enforcement creating almost a dog offender list, much like our sex offender list, where these people that are convicted of animal abuse, particularly of severe animal abuse, are put on this list so the community knows that these are people that either can't, for legal reasons, adopt an animal or have previously been convicted, which is a matter of public record. Uh, is this something that you think Brevard County, would find use of, or would you agree with it or disagree with it?
I don't think we have to go that far because with the age of technology right now, if someone has been convicted of animal abuse or neglect, in reference to enforcing the laws that are already on the books, that information is very easily accessible through the clerk's webpage.
Okay.
Anyone can go onto the clerk's webpage and find out if that individual has been convicted of any of those crimes because it's like you say, it's public information.
In regard to the current laws on the books, as we've been discussing,
Yes.
do you think that right now that they're harsh enough to deter the abuse and neglect that you hear a lot about in the media?
I don't believe so. I've gone to a lot of calls during my tenure as a Brevard County Sheriff's Deputy, and I've seen some incidents where the animals were gravely malnutrition in reference to the way they looked, Some had been abused, and I don't think that we enforce the laws um, effectively enough to make sure that we find out who those owners are of those animals, so we can bring them to justice for the way they treated their animals.
So do you think it's more along the lines of getting more of the community involved
Not,
in?
not, not only the community, but the sheriff's office and also with our animal control division with Brevard County. We have to make sure that we're doing a much better job protecting the animals. So those owners who have those animals who are not taking care of them, then they need to be brought to justice and made accountable of what they did or did not do.
Okay. Excellent. Well, that's all the questions I have for now. I thank you very much for taking time out of your very busy schedule just to speak with me in this
Well,
issue.
let me thank you. I really do appreciate the opportunity to address your audience.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you.